MSB here, and it's time for some more Hex closed beta discussion. All while, of course, we'll be cracking open a few more of our trusty little booster packs. So, let's get started. So, there is a current bug in the beta where sometimes when you open up a pack, the card backs don't flip over. So, there is a way around it. Okay, let's see what we get. There is a way around it, and that's to exit the store every time. Chronic Madness. Fantastic. This is obviously going to be great for a mill deck. Okay. So what I have to do is I hit OK, the chest pops, and then I have to exit out of the store and then go back into opening packs. So you'll see me repeat that each time. It's not because I'm trying to add an extra step. It's a little bit cumbersome, but it helps to prevent the that bug, because we want to see everything that we pull, obviously. Okay, and another rare. Pact of Pain. Good card draw. So, of course, just like last time, what I'm going to try to do is minimize the distractedness that I get from opening packs. While I try and make some discussion happen, obviously I apologize in advance for any sort of delays in discussion, because I just love opening packs. It's just so much fun. And obviously right now there's currently a couple of bugs in the closed beta, one of which is tournaments are very inconsistent at best. Chimes of the Zodiac. Ooh, neat. I like that. Okay. So the bug in tournaments make tournaments sometimes not complete. So I'm avoiding doing tournaments currently. They don't have an ETA yet for a fix on that, but that'll be coming soon. That's definitely their top priority currently. So with that in mind, what is up for grabs now by playing in the closed beta? Well, the first, as I've mentioned before, is gold. Once tournaments are back online, you'll be able to get gold by playing in tournaments, and gold not only upgrades. Okay, Spirit Dance. Gold not only upgrades your chests like these, but also once PvE is released, gold is how you purchase PvE cards. So building some up now will go a long way if you're interested in PvE. Now, in addition to gold, you'll also be able to buy platinum. Platinum is the paid currency in Hex, and you buy that with, excellent, Zarlux the Broodlord. Good stuff, unique. I remember when he was, when he killed a 3 or less cost troop, and he was not unique, so it was like, oh, here, let me just get amazing card advantage, thank you. So with the platinum, platinum is how you pay for tournaments, and it's also going to be probably one of the staple means of trading when the auction house comes out. I'll discuss the auction house in a little bit to talk about what's going on with that. Now, in addition, what you can also sign up for now is the VIP system. The VIP system provides you with one pack per week, and it also gives you access to a VIP tournament. Another Replicator's Gambit. The VIP program costs $4 a month, and the VIP tournament is an event where you can get extra prizes. It's a specialized tournament. They haven't gone over the specifics as to what you're fighting for and how many people you have to face off in order to get a reward from it. Yes, legendary. Good. Let's do it. Come on. Let's get a good one. Everything pauses for this. And Ozawa! Yes, this guy is crazy. The life drain, because he gets plus X, where X is your health. So if you're at 10 health, he's at 10, and then you life drain, deal 10 damage, gain another 10 life. So he snowballs immensely fast. As I mentioned in my card breakdown video for him, and a legendary chest! Epic. As I mentioned in my card breakdown, obviously he's just a big beefy guy that is vulnerable to removal, but at the same time, if you get him on the board, he can be a 1-card lockdown, because then you don't want to attack. Your opponent doesn't want to attack you, because then you would just block and heal for however much your health is. Okay, anyway, moving on. That was a great legendary to get. I'm very pleased. So, in addition, obviously playing now gives you an edge in card knowledge. Obviously, people who come in later to an open beta or on release, they're all Lord Adam the Powerful. Oh yeah, the Triumvirate. Yeah, that's going to be a fun theme deck to make, for sure. So anyone who comes in during open beta and release, if you've been able to knock in some games now, you're going to have a big edge when it comes to the mechanics, the metagame, what's powerful. You're going to have an improved card collection, lots of stuff. So it's always good to get in a little bit early when you can, in order to get that advantage, that edge. Okay, yesterday. Nice little bounce for blue control deck. So closed beta is, per Corey's blog, closed beta is set to last, as he put in quotes, several weeks. Now, with this tournament bug that's currently running, obviously that's going to delay things, because their first and foremost priority before they start accepting anyone else into the closed beta or schedule anything else. Slaughter Gear, what a great name. Slaughter Gear, Renegade War Factory. That's awesome. Getting distracted again. Oh, good, rare chest. When there's a bug of that magnitude, when tournaments are offline, and that's their big selling point for the monetized beta, was these tournaments that were up and running. Obviously, that takes priority over everything else. No one else is coming in, nothing else is really being looked at, they're just doing this bug fix, and that's, I'm sure, what they are just furiously working on. They want that fixed as quickly as possible, so that one's going to come. Yes, another Eldritch Dreamer. Perfect. Those guys are amazing, by the way. A socketed troop that can't be blocked, 3/3, you put in a blue major gem, and it card draws when you attack, or I should say when you deal damage. So it's like a 3/3 draw a card every time you attack that can't be blocked. It's crazy. It's crazy good. Anyway, so I guess the best way to start now, or the place to go for our conversation, is to talk about, well, what's in the future for Hex. In the future for Hex, obviously one of the big draws, as I mentioned in my previous video, is PvE. Now, there's a lot of different PvE aspects, which you may or may not be familiar with. The first, of course, is Wild Root Dancer. Jax the Hexer, this is like hands down his favorite card. He talks about it like all the time. It is a great card. It's really fun, and obviously when you get rolling, you can just make troops ridiculously good by buffing them up. Anyway, so dungeons obviously are the first thing that Cryptozoic have talked about a lot, and dungeons are a solo experience. The longer that you stay in the dungeon and the more you explore of it, the better your rewards are. So that's going to be one of the primary sort of modes of PvE. There's going to be this questing, and then there's going to be dungeons. Now, in addition, there's going to be raids, which are 3-player PvE tournaments. Gorefeast of Cogtpel, this is a good card, but you get it in the Orc starter, so it's sort of while it's a great card, it's devalued. You get an additional combat phase, and get to just basically blow stuff up on the turn that you play it. But like I said, a devalued rare for certain because of its inclusion in the Orc starter. Boy, that was tough to say. So what else is in PvE? Well, there is crafting and equipment. So crafting sort of goes hand in hand. Equipment is one of the big selling points. Every single card, if you can imagine that, every single card in this set, both PvP and PvE cards, because remember, here when you open up a pack, these are all PvP cards. There's a whole nother set of PvE cards, and each and every card, cool, another Chronic Madness, each and every PvE card is going to have anywhere between 2 to 3, I don't think there's 4, I think it's just 2 to 3 pieces of equipment, and all of them change the way that the card works in some way. They could do things as simple as reducing the cost. They can add extra effects, like they could double the number of tokens that are generated, and some of them even have like really wacky things, like instead of like changes the mechanics fundamentally, where it's like instead of making a character discard cards, you deal damage. There's lots of sort of wacky things. If you take a look at some of my really old and embarrassing card breakdowns, they go over the equipment and what the equipment means in PvE. That makes any sense. So in addition to PvE, there's also going to be the auction house. The auction house hasn't been talked about much because it's obviously a massive system to implement. It's really a Mirror Knight. Cool. Basically what they've stated is that the auction house is where people are going to be able to trade everything. That's cards, that's platinum, that's gold, that's tickets, chests, sleeves, like everything that you can theoretically do, except I think mercenaries are account bound. So anything that's not account bound is going to be able to be traded in the auction house. Now, there's been a lot of speculation as to how the market is going to run in the auction house. Ugh, another Hero of Adamanth. Hopefully it's a good chest for this one. Nah, common chest. Fine. Hey, you gotta have bad packs with the good packs, right? I got that Ozawa and Legendary chest. What am I complaining about? So there's not going to be any direct gold to platinum trading. You're not going to be able to put in a gold figure and immediately trade it into platinum. So you're going to have to use sort of a medium, which is going to be like a card, giant caterpillar, cool. Going to be like a card or a ticket. Hey, legendary chest, very nice. There's going to have to be something that you use in order to convert that, but a lot of the time what you could be doing is, farming up cards. Let's say you're a PvE person. You'd farm up cards in PvE and equipment. You'd sell that on the auction house for platinum, and then you'd use the platinum to join tournaments. So you can definitely sort of go infinite, which is sort of a common free-to-play concept. Crash of Beasts. I keep on calling this Crash of Rhinos. Well, probably because it creates rhinos. Anyway, so in free-to-play games, there's a concept of going infinite, which means you never have to put actual money into the game once you reach a certain point. You stabilize out, and everything that you want to do in-game is funded by your actions in-game. So the concept in Hex would be that you farm up in PvE, you sell the equipment and the cards on the auction house for platinum, and then you use the platinum to pick up packs and enter tournaments. Flock of Seagulls is a great uncommon. So, ooh, yes, the Aesthetic Aspirant. This is the guy that transforms into the Light and Seeker, and then the... Oh my gosh. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Oh, someone's gonna kill me for this. I cannot remember. Anyway, it's the card that change whenever you draw a card. Instead, you search your deck for a card. So it's like a demonic tutor, but every time you draw. But he has 2 stages in order to transform into it. So it's not like, oh, I suddenly get this amazingly powerful card. It's tough. It's tough to get him transform. Anyway, so the auction house. A legendary just derailed me. Here we go, everyone. Stops for the legendary it is. Nice! Angel of the Dawn. Okay. This rocks. Because, I mean, a 4/4 with Flight and Steadfast, where if you draw it and it's the first card you draw, it's free. Imagine pulling that on your opening draw when you go second. You just drop a 4/4 flyer. This is a ridiculous card. This Angel of Dawn is a ridiculous card, and I am so glad that I've got one. Wow. I can only hope I get 3 more. Common chest, who cares? Okay, that was exciting. I'm pumped after that one. So anyway, there was a lot of speculation about how the auction house would work, and that's basically the details of it. It's a normal auction house. It is not a bid-ask system like Guild Wars 2, if you have any experience with that, where you'd put up an asking price and then people would, yes, back-to-back legendaries. It's not a bid-ask system like the one in Guild Wars 2. It is a standard like World of Warcraft. You put in a buyout price and a starting price, and then it goes from there. Hey, release the Kraken! Gotta have that, right? What card collection would be complete without the Kraken? None, I tell you. None. Okay, so that's about all on the auction house. Moving on, the events and new content are something else to sort of look forward to as the game progresses. As I mentioned in the previous video, there was something that Cryptozoic mentioned about, tournaments and events being in-game. Wrathwood Colossus. This guy's a beast. he's pretty crazy if you can get enough ramp to him. You know, but 9 cost for a 9/9 is ridiculous. So you'd obviously have to do some crazy ramp to get there. Anyway, so as I mentioned with the events, Cryptozoic have mentioned that they're thinking about doing things like mercenaries and sleeves, especially when it comes to like real life tournaments and events. Cryptozoic wants to have a real world component because they want this TCG to be very competitive with all of the other real world TCGs. You can see that in what Hearthstone is doing, where they introduced that fireside chat games or fireside game, whatever that was called. Hey, Sabotage, these are great. Glad I got another one of those. Digital games, digital TCGs especially, really want to try to work off of that real world player base. That's something that's very important to tap into because playing cards is something that we, is a social experiment. Social experience. Another legendary just derailed me. Let's see. Uranaz! Yeah, buddy! Obviously, I can't remember if Uranaz is actually going to be in the Kickstarter starter deck, Blood of the Dragon or something I think it's called. So this one might also be devalued because there'll be a lot of them floating around, but hey, I don't mind. I'll take it. Hey, I'll take any legendary. I can't think of one legendary where I'd be like, nah, I don't think I'll take that. So they've mentioned, the possibility of holiday events, obviously with like new dungeons, either limited access dungeons or with like just brand new content. This is all going to be stuff that sort of rolls through the game. They're going to be including more mercenaries as time goes on, more dungeons. The mercenaries that they've already released have some pretty crazy powers, and they just really want to make PvE to be a real wild experience. They want you to, make game-breaking mechanics all over the place. Obviously not to the point where the PvE is not fun, but they've already said, like for dungeons, they're going to have a hard mode, which is a Highlander deck, where you can only have one of each card. You can only have one copy of a card in your deck to complete it in the hard mode challenge. So, regardless of how good your collection is, only being able to use one card, immortality, only be able to use one card is going to make any dungeon very difficult. And I'm personally hoping they do the same thing for raids, because that would be awesome. Another thing that I'm really looking forward to is completing raids with less than the full complement of people. I'd love to 2-man raids. That'd be a lot of fun, I think. I don't think you'd get anything for it, but it'd just be entertaining to do. So, what else isn't in Hex as of yet? Excellent! Well, you know what is in Hex right now? My 3rd Eldritch Dreamer. That's perfect. Obviously, with all the Sapphire cards that I'm unlocking, I've got to make a Sapphire deck. Anyway, so what else isn't in Hex currently? Double back. The double back is something that is extraordinarily interesting and something that really drew me to Hex. Each card, while you could end up having like 8 of a certain common or even more, 20 of a common, each card is going to be unique, and you can see this little sort of figure 8 serpent thing and the 3 arrows. That's going to let you flip the card into its back. And then there's going to be a double back, which is going to retain all of the information that you get when you play the card, when you use the card. So there's going to be, for example, there's going to be achievements that are unlocked on a per card basis. And achievements could be anything like, deal 100 damage using this card, or win a tournament using this card. And so every time that you do these achievements in your deck, it's going to be unlocking, the red just freaked me out again. Anytime that you do activities with your cards, they're going to unlock these achievements. Let's see what the legendary is before I continue. Resurrection. I mean, obviously, if you get it out, it's great, but I'd much rather have another Angel of Dawn. But again, any legendary I'll take. I'm not being picky. No, sir. So, for example, what do you get when you unlock these achievements? I think every card ends up having 3 different achievements. When you unlock all of the achievements, you unlock the extended art for that card. So all of the borders drop away, and then you get to see the full card. Excellent, Uzume. That's a great little shit hair card. So that's, you unlock extended art by doing these achievements, by using a card in particular ways to unlock it. In addition, the cards will also track experience, which is, I'm guessing from, just play time with it, wins with it, maybe damage with it. It's like all these different aspects will give each individual card experience. And when the experience bar gets filled up, you unlock the foil version of the card. Gigantify! Gigantify! The bigger the better. Yep, that's wild. Go big or go home. So the foil version is going to be unlocked via that experience path, and this makes each... Oh, and then there's one other aspect of the double back that will be recorded. I should say two. First is your name. It's going to show who is the person who used the card. So people who are very good at tournaments, or who people particularly like in the community, their cards may just be worth more because it's this card who was... another Gore Feast. Well, I'll have a million of those. It'll be, this card by this pro player, and so it'll make it more desirable, just like in Magic the Gathering. When pro players use particular cards, they have more worth. It's sort of like a digital signature that's on there and will always be on there. So really interesting. In addition, each card will have a trophy case. So when a card is used and wins a tournament, then it'll have these trophies that'll unlock on it. So you can always see, oh, I won the pro player in 2016 with this card or with this deck. Each card in the deck unlocks this, and that'll be a really interesting means. Excellent, another ascetic aspirant. Ascetic aspirant. Aspirant? Aspirant? Whatever. So it'll be really interesting how each card becomes sort of a unique item in and of itself. And while sometimes obviously you'll just be looking for the cheapest deal on the auction house, obviously there's a certain kind of collector that values these sorts of things, values the extended art, values the foil, values the name of a pro player, the number of tournaments it's been in. Each card having this sort of collectability to it is absolutely fascinating, and that's one of the features that I'm really looking forward to, because what you could do then, again, in the sort of hunt for going infinite, what you could do is you could pick up cards, like commons, and go through the process. Excellent. Wild Root Dancer, another Jack's favorite. So you could pick up these commons, you could rush through them with them in PvE, you could foil them and get the extended art down, and then you could sell them on the auction house for a profit, because they're just commons. You buy them for pittance. And then by doing this work, you would make each card gain in value. And, if you don't care about that sort of thing, well, then that's easy. You just rotate out the cards as soon as they're foiled or extended arted, and then sell the special one, and then just throw another one into your deck, and then wait for it to go through the process. Great. Okay. Common chest. So that, like I said, that whole thing about a card being a persistent collectible item in Hex, fascinating to me. Very, very interesting. And of course, there's going to be a lot more in store for Hex. There's going to be mobile options. They've already said that they obviously want this to be on the iPad. Android, I'm assuming. Yep, that's cool. Demented Demolisher. Void all the resources from your deck. Initially, someone may think, oh my gosh, void all the resources. That's horrible. But just think, once you're up and running on resources, being able to get rid of, 20 some odd cards in your deck, just sort of skim all of them out. Well, let's say 15 or so, depending on how many you need. But just being able to ditch all of those out of your deck, that thins down your deck considerably. And of course, then at that point, the likelihood of pulling something really good is just that much better. So, neat little card. Definitely a combo-oriented card for blood decks. So, what else is in the mix, or in the future, I should say, for Hex. Multiplayer. They've already talked about, raids being multiplayer. They're also looking at other multiplayer options. So that'll be another interesting thing, if there's ever like a grouping system that goes up out of, nice, Crash of Beasts, not Rhinos. That'll be nice if there's like, a questing system where you can join up with someone, and then, the difficulty is increased, but the rewards are increased. That'd be neat too. In addition, another big thing they've wanted to do is player-run tournaments with customizable house rules. So that's another one that's sort of really interesting where, if you want to set up your own league, then you could create this tournament with these particular rules. Let's say only commons, or commons plus 4 uncommons. Some sort of a limitation. What is this, plant garden? Okay, sure, this is one of those percentage ones, so it could turn into something amazing or could turn into something horrendous. That's cool. So anyway, you can do these opening these packs just keeps distracting me because it's just so much fun. I'm containing my excitedness as I try to talk through all the things that I wanted to sort of touch on. So the player-run tournaments are another sort of really interesting thing, and like I said, you could make your own leagues. Cerebral fulmination, that's a mouthful. And that can lead to some really interesting sort of spin-off tournaments. If a particular tournament type gets really popular, and then people start hosting that, and then you draw more players into that tournament type. So really interesting. Legendary. Now, this brings me to a fantastic point, one of which I am extraordinarily excited about. So let's see what our legendary is. Another Fist of Bring it on! Yes. Yes. Do want. Thank you very much. Perfect, so that kicks it off wonderfully. Keep, assault, and defense. Remember how I mentioned on the front page of my last video that there was going to be something called the Keep? The Keep is going to be your sort of home location, and the amount of customizability in it is still up in the air, but basically it's going to be a structure that you own, and it's going to be represented in-game. Relentless corruption. Cool. Now, the reason why this is awesome is because one of the Kickstarter stretch goals was being able to assault someone's keep, and there would be particularly beneficial effects. They were talking about, the possibility of like raid boss levels where you would like gain experience by assaulting keeps and defending keeps, and then like your level would go up and your keep may be more difficult to assault as your level increases. So some really wild stuff that is extraordinarily exciting. So then the keep becomes sort of a leveling, not only a leveling aspect, it's like your home location that levels up with you as your account improves. And you can get, graphical updates and whatnot by doing things like winning tournaments, I'd guess, stuff like that. But in addition, then it becomes a gameplay element. Yes, another legendary. Let's get another Fist of Brigadoon or another Angel of Dawn, hey? Another Resurrection, oh well. I mean, yay! So the Keep as a gameplay element is extraordinarily fascinating, where now it's got this sort of value to it, either a gold value or a platinum value. They were talking about people being able to set their own keep defense values, so people would pay a certain amount of gold or platinum in order to assault your keep, but then they would win whatever the prize is that you're offering for someone to assault your keep. And so people would be, become very popular if they had a particular type of prize for their keep. Like someone may put up platinum. That'd be crazy. And then it's like everyone would be swarming to try and beat this amazing keep. And of course, putting in whatever the entry fee is, a card or some more platinum. So very, very fascinating. So in addition, one of the final things I'll discuss here is the fact that one of the big things that Cryptozoic have been working towards is real money tournaments. Cryptozoic have been from day one under the impression that they want to make Hex an esport. They want to have real world tournaments that people actually go to a venue and perform in and can get money, and people can become pro players just like Magic. They really, really want to push that. And so, while of course nothing is written in stone, that's definitely something that's in the works. Drew's Colossal Walker, that's a beast of a troop. And a rare chest, excellent. So they've even said that they want, of course, in the future to have world championships. Like I said, anything that you can think of for Magic, they want to duplicate that and really capitalize on the digital nature of Hex. Another legendary. What's it going to be? Come on, not a resurrection. Okay, another Argus, Herald of Doom. This would be a fun deck to make. Get that down, get one in your opening hand and then just start voiding things like crazy. That'd be great. So that's something that's another interesting aspect of Hex is some games, especially like Blizzard games, they go into it and they're kind of like, oh, if it becomes popular, then it becomes popular. Hex is going into this with a definite game plan when it comes to professional scene. Ooh, this is a good one. Like the Deathless Gem, a 3/3 for 3, so it's on curve, and then it has this 5-color decks. This is going to be amazing, and it's a threshold fixer, so that's awesome for any sort of diamond multicolored decks, even if you don't play all 5. That'll be a nice little aspect. Okay, so definitely, Hex has a game plan right off the bat. They have a clear picture as to what they're looking to do for the future. They want this to be a serious game, and they want people to be playing it professionally, with people being able to make a living from it. So it's really worthwhile, again, going back to that idea of getting experience now is something that's going to be very beneficial. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below how you can sign up for the closed beta. As they mentioned in that link, currently the sign up is for notification for open beta, but I'm certain once they start ironing out some bugs, they'll also be using those notifications for handing out closed beta keys moving forward. And obviously, if Cryptozoic is nice enough to provide entertainment channels, such as my own, with additional closed beta keys, you can bet that I'll be raffling them off to people who are subscribers to my channel. And with that, I'll go ahead and dump out my last pack. This makes 50, going down to 309, so let's see what we get for our last pack. Here we go, lucky pack. Okay, well, it's rare, that's alright. I wasn't expecting a legendary last thing, that would be a lot to expect. And it is a Surge Mechanism. Oh my gosh! So not too shabby. Let's see what the chest is that I got. Okay, uncommon. Hey, not too bad. So there you have it. 50 packs and some additional closed beta discussion. Moving forward from here, I'm really interested to hear what else you want to watch. I love suggestions and I love requests from viewers. The whole reason why I did this 50 packs opening was because someone suggested it in the comments below. So if you have ideas about something that you want to watch, leave a comment in the description below on either this video or any video I ever make, letting me know what you'd like to see, because you guys, the viewers and the subscribers, you're what keeps me going. So if you want to see something, you can bet that I'm going to work hard on it. And with that as a reminder, if you haven't yet, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'm MSB, wishing you good games and good times.